All right, so in this video, we're going to look at some studying strategies and note-taking strategies. So when people take or students take a course that uses Excel, and what they run into is that they use Excel, and Excel does all the work for you. It doesn't really require you think about what numbers to punch in, but you're not doing the calculations yourself. So the Excel is basically a calculator, and it's a good tool, but if you don't understand exactly what's going on, you're not really learning much. You're having Excel just do it for you. And so the idea here is, especially on tests and quizzes and exams, you're going to need to write down stuff. It's going to be on paper sometimes. And so that you really want to know, what the concepts are, what the skills are, what's going on. And also it will help you better apply it later on in life when you have to use it. You don't want to show up to a job and not know the topic and be able to use Excel because all you did in your college courses or a course anywhere was to just literally click on stuff and make and divide or whatever and have Excel do it for you. So a good note-taking strategy is on the column to the right of your stuff. You can expand it like I just did. And basically what we're going to do is, I have the answers already set up here because the answer is not important. We just want to know the strategy. So the first thing, I would do one of two things. The first thing is take notes on the column next to what you're doing. So for example, both of these assets to liabilities are the same setup. This one was total assets divided by total liabilities. And this one was total assets divided by total liabilities. That's how we got 1.35 and 1.25. So instead of just, okay, we got the number, let's move on to the part B. Over here on the side, you want to make a note. Assets to liabilities equals total assets divided by total liabilities. So, enter. You could also make a note that, hey, maybe as you keep going, maybe the word to means to divide. And if you check all these, this may not be obvious right away, but you want to look for patterns, and the patterns are going to help you understand this much clearer. So as you do these, we'll do the next one. We'll make the note over here, liabilities to assets equals whatever it may be. In this case, it is total liabilities. It's the reverse of part A. And so what we did in part A is we divided total assets by total liabilities. In part B, we did the opposite. Then you go down to the next one. Guess what? It's division again. So maybe let's make a note down here is that the word to represents the function to divide, anything like that. You can say anything. And so you're making a note, you're typing it in, and it's helping you make that connection and give you a better understanding. So when you go to take a quiz test or explain this to somebody, you know the word to is to divide. It's going to be a ratio, basically. You can write that too. The word to is a ratio as well. You could also, so that's one of the two things I recommend. The second thing I recommend is to print out this document and write down the notes on the side. The reason being is that we are such a technology-heavy era and age, and that's fine, and they're great tools. But research has shown that when people write stuff down with their hand, they remember stuff much better than people that just type it. So it's tedious writing. Many people rather just type on a computer, but research has shown you want to write it down. Take these notes that we wrote in column E and write them in there. And you can also bounce back and forth. So when you're studying, the Excel sheet, maybe you delete all the answers and you go back later to do them. You can, block it with your hand or your arm, or put a piece of paper over what you took as notes and try to regurgitate and try to remember, what was the note I take, and then bounce back. And so it's a great way of studying, and it's more than one way. And that's the idea you want to do with some of these complex courses of accounting, hospitality, anything that uses an Excel. What you want to gain understanding first, and then use the tool to go to the next level of thinking, which is to draw conclusions from your data.